today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope everybody had a great trading day yesterday. For those of you new to the channel, make sure you click the subscribe button down below so you get these updates as they come available. We look at the same 10 to 12 futures markets every day, trying to identify potential market turning points and breakout trades. So let's dive right in. First one we're going to look at is the S&P. And the S&P 500, yesterday we had talked about, we were down about 17 yesterday morning, and I'd said, well, if we make it back up to here, there's a good chance for a short reversal. And we did not make it back up to that level. And then my other thought was, well, if we make it down to here, then we may get a reversal. And that's exactly what happened. We made it all the way down, and our low of the day came into our potential reversal zone. And we're up about almost 30 points from that level yesterday. So this worked out very, very well. What I'm going to do now is remove this area because this area has worked out. We got picked up a nice little run on that. So if you did that, hopefully you're at home doing the happy dance as you were able to hopefully pick that one up. That one moved for a nice little gain. Let's talk about this one up here. So this level is still valid. However, here's why I'm not so sure about it. Because in the Nasdaq, that level was hit, and it was hit, and it worked out very well. And I tweeted out yesterday that it had hit its profit target, which it did hit its profit target, which was this area down in here. And now we're back into it again. So these two levels, this one in the S&P and this one in the Nasdaq, correspond with one another. Now, what I'm going to do, we are back into it at the moment. But take a look at the different arrival types into it. The first arrival was a strong move in, so we got a pretty nice move away. This time, we're chopping around in front of it. So I'm not going to leave this level on the chart. I'm going to remove this one. I am going to leave this one on the chart because I still think this could be a good level sometime today, but I'm going to change it to a dashed line because our probabilities are now a bit lower that it's going to work, since the Nasdaq one price has already come up to it, and I don't like the arrival in the Nasdaq one. Both trades still have a breakout above, which is very much in play if we can make it above one of those high breakouts. So, oops, wrong chart. Both of them have this breakout above, which we can still make it to. Okay, so hopefully you were able to catch. I mean, if you had both set up, then then maybe you catch the Nasdaq short and the S&P long because both of them made entry. So let's take a look at crude. Crude, we did not have anything set up, and the reason we didn't have anything set up is because I didn't feel like I knew where it was going. And guess what? I was right, because I didn't know where it was going. There's nothing wrong with not setting up a trade in an area where you don't think it's going to get. So I'm still going to leave this one out, although I'm getting more and more comfortable with a long above this area, if indeed you would be so inclined. You could still look at that for a potential long. I'm going to leave it off at the moment because I still don't like this area here that may stop it from going higher. Look at gold. I tweeted this out yesterday as well. This is called nicked by a tick. Did not get filled. Our entry was at 1296.5 or 1296.4, depending on how you put it. 1296.5 I think was mine. But it got to 1296, I'm sorry, 1295.5, but it didn't get all the way down to, it got 1296.3. Did not quite get you enough for an entry, as we came just above it. We didn't come down far enough. So you may have had a wider zone, and if you were a bit wider, and you had yours drawn like this, then you got in. If you had yours drawn like this, you may have gotten in. But if you had yours drawn like I did, which was down here, then you probably did not get filled. And by the way, that's okay. The level is still valid. I'll still leave this in play, although I feel like it's probably maybe lower probability. If we meander into here, I'll probably move this over to a dashed line style of an entry. But that's just a good way to show you don't force it, right? Don't force the trade. Allow it to come to you and see if it's going to work out. Next, take a look at the bonds. So the bond market, this one unfortunately blew right through. So where you win some, you lose some. Here's you lose some. Price rallied up and it went straight through the area. Why did it do it? I don't know, just to annoy me. I expected a reversal in this level. This level failed. So we have a failure in that bond trade. Right now, you know, there is still this area here that I talked about as a potential reversal yesterday. We're not quite to it yet. I'm still going to leave this one be and probably not add anything else to the bonds today. In the Aussie, we've got a huge run higher, bouncing off of this area down here. This was not an area that I had previously highlighted, as I didn't think it was going to be as valid because it had already been tested once here, but obviously we got a very strong move out of there. Now we could get a bit of a reversal right here. So we are coming to a point where we could get a bit of a reversal. You know, this is not formed at a time of day where you're going to get typically great reversals, but it is, you know, closer to the European Open, but it's also on a U.S. holiday. So it's one of those, I'm not in love with it. For those of you that are, feel free to take that one. I think that's going to be a decent little setup. But remember, we're in a choppy market condition here overall. In the euro, so the euro has come back up to our potential entry, and that was on the 4-hour chart that we had this entry set up. So it was really a bigger picture play. So now that we're in our level here in the euro, now that we're here at this level in the euro, we could get a bit of a reversal back down into this region, or it could blow through. Now, if it blows through, remember, our bigger picture time period had this as a potential turning point off of the weekly chart. And if we get a candle with a higher high, you know, let's say we just chop around through here, and next week we get a candle with a higher high, this then becomes a longer term trading opportunity. In the Canadian dollar, another one that's rallying up, but we had no levels in the Canadian as there was nothing to give us strong indication one way or the other, and I'm going to leave it just like that because there's still nothing to give me strong indication one way or the other in the Canadian. British pound, Japanese yen. So in the yen, yesterday we had talked about a breakout that may well have been failing, because yesterday we talked about this breakout here and we said, well, your stop has to be below here because this was the pivot. And then look what it did. It got close to where your stop would be, and then it has shot right back up. So that would keep you from getting a true stop out, and then you may have actually hit a profit target. Or maybe you held on and you're back to break even. I don't know how you're going to manage. Everybody manages their trades differently based upon their own risk tolerances. So this one is still in play, although showing a fair amount of weakness at this point. So I'm going to remove this line. And my guess is you've probably managed that stop at some point now. But the key is that that's why on a breakout we've got some pretty strict rules that your stop has to go outside of the prior pivot. In the Great British Pound, so yesterday we did rally back up into the pound, and we did come down and hit what in my mind would be our profit objective. We got a little 2-to-1 out of this. It hit its opposing price level on the 15-minute chart. It's always going to be a slightly weaker probability, so I'm gonna take this one off of our charts for now. We are on the British Pound though. If you're not short and you're thinking you might want to get short, we are, you know, coming off of this descending trend line, so you could just get another reversal off of this falling trend line. Looking at copper, not a whole lot here to add in copper, as well as nat gas. Where'd my nat gas go? There we go. I put a level down here in natural gas. We're not quite to there yet. Obviously got a long way to fall before we get there, but it could come later today, especially based on this prior fall that we had through here. So I did have somebody ask me about soybeans. I will take a look at soybeans maybe later in the week. I have not done any investigating at all. I will, you know, just to be blunt, I've never traded soybeans in my life, and so I'd like to at least take a look at it before I put it in the video, and I didn't get a chance to yesterday. So I will make sure that I add those to it. So until tomorrow, everybody, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. I would love to answer any questions that I can do my best to help you with. If you like this video, leave a comment in the chat box and leave a thumbs up and a like down below. It is much appreciated. See you all real soon.
Bye.